Hi, I'm Allie and you're watching Disney Channel. Jesus Christ.
You know, whenever I was younger, I feel like I was pretty funny. Maybe not so outgoing, but whenever I would catch, funny moments on Snapchat or, wherever, I would always laugh at myself. I don't know if anyone else is laughing at me or with me, but I always characterize myself as a pretty hilarious person, and I feel like most of what I do now is just satire, and no one should really take me seriously. My name is Alexandria Kiso, and this is my life. It's kind of interesting because I don't even know what people think of me. They might think of me as this,
So hot.
or this. Sometimes I just choose not to ask people what they think of me because it could really bring my ego down, and I don't think my ego's huge. I talk about that in therapy, but I don't think it's huge, guys, alright? But sometimes I just don't want to know? But then sometimes it just eats me up inside, and I hate it. But most of the time I just don't want to know, so don't fucking tell me, dude. Just don't tell me. I think I went through I've been through many phases, but before the pandemic, I was in my emo phase, if you will. Maybe I'm still in that, I don't know. But I would wear some of the craziest shit. You know how some people are they'll make fun of you for wearing band tees that you don't even listen to. And then they'll be like, name 3 songs. Name a band member, dude. And then you're just kind of standing there I don't know what to say. So then, to prepare for that question, you would go on Spotify and look up the top 5 most listened to songs of that band. And you would remember it. And I think I only did that once. That was whenever I started getting into the Grateful Dead. And I'll be honest, I only know 2 of the band members' names, Jerry Garcia and Bob Weir. Obviously, everyone knows Jerry Garcia. And I guess Bob Weir, he's pretty popular. But I wore this Grateful Dead t-shirt, and I was prepared. So I remembered the top 5 songs. And I think at the time, maybe it was 2018. I just got my nose pierced, so I felt good about that. So it was time for me to put on the Grateful Dead t-shirt. I put on my Urban Outfitters Grateful Dead t-shirt, and I thought I looked hot as shit. Okay? And I'm wearing a Carhartt hat. Like I said, I was in an emo phase. I thought this looked good. And I wore my Docs and black jeans. And I would rather die than look at a picture of myself from that day at school, because I think I wore it a lot. Oh, you know what? And I also wore a turtleneck under it. So it'd be even more emo or alternative. I was trying to make people think that I actually do listen to the Grateful Dead. And now I actually do. I really do enjoy their music. I think it's very calming. And it just reminds me of a time that's nostalgic. Even though I never, I was born in 2003. I wasn't alive during the 60s. Or even when when Jerry Garcia died in 1995. I wasn't alive during that time. So I don't even know what that time period was like. But I pretended to. And sometimes I still do. I like to immerse myself in nostalgia like that, in the 80s or 90s, 70s and 60s too. Sort of that 40-year range. As a 18-year-old, almost 19-year-old, it's weird to think about those times because the world is so different now than it was, in the fucking, let's just say 1960s till the 1990s. And I was born in 2003. And, technology wasn't as advanced as it is now. Like, no shit. So that's why I really like a lot of old things. You could call me an old soul. No. I kind of hate that. But yeah, dude, that emo phase was bad. I remember I was sitting at the lunch table. This was in 10th grade. I was sitting at the lunch table with Anthony, as I always did. One of Anthony's friends came up to him and he said, "Is Allie emo now?" And I thought that was so fucking funny because I think I was wearing that outfit, or at least like an all black outfit. I don't know what I was trying to go for. I don't even think I was that depressed, because my depression like really started to kick off whenever I was like a senior. But in 10th grade, I guess I was fine. Maybe you could call it that. Yeah, I was like, what the fuck? No, I just want to wear all black. Doesn't mean I'm emo. But now I look back and yeah, I was trying a little bit too hard, but I feel like everyone in high school goes through that, phase or whatever. Actually, fuck, dude. At my high school, there was only a select few of people who had, like, awkward phases, and I was one of them, definitely. Yeah. So that was a great time in my Grateful Dead Urban Outfitters t-shirt that probably cost, like, $40, and I don't think I have it anymore. It's definitely a part of history. I could try and find a few photos. Now, also let me say this. During that time, I was very ignorant. I didn't give a shit about politics. I didn't give a shit. I didn't even know what fucking capitalism was, dude. I didn't care. I didn't care to learn. It wasn't until I was like a junior or senior until I started to actually care about those things. And it's unfortunate because I was dumb. And I hate people now who are like, I don't care about politics. Because, the people who say that, it doesn't affect them. Whenever I say that, I mean, like, white people, like cishet white people. So, whenever I talk about that time, I sound ignorant. And I come off as ignorant because I was. I don't want to sound like a fucking saint. I was stupid. I was fucking, like, pretending that I was someone who I wasn't. I didn't start realizing who I was until like recently. And I'll probably look back on this like a few years from now and I'll be like, you're so dumb. And that's probably true. But I look back at myself whenever I was like 15, 16, and it's just so fucking bizarre. Because I didn't give a shit. And I'm so glad that, like, teenagers now are starting to actually become involved within politics and just the world in general. Because being ignorant is scary. Because you only know one worldview. And of course, I only know one worldview. I'm white. So I only know the world through the lens of a white person, of course. But I think it's great, and I think people should learn more about other people and what they go through, like within their point of view. And of course I wasn't fucking doing that, I don't know. So whenever I try to talk about that time in my life, whenever I was fucking 15 or 16, and I can't even say that like it was really it was my fault, of course. All teenagers at one point in their life, all they do is care about themselves. What other people think of them. Whatever. I'm so insecure about that, but it's obviously like different now. I'm not in high school anymore, I'm in college. I don't know what my advice, I guess, would be to talk to people who don't share, I guess, like the same qualities as you do. And whenever I say that, I don't mean like people who don't have shit in common with you, I'm saying immerse yourself in other people and other people's sort of cultural realm. Go to college if you want. Big whole scam if you really think about it. Actually, you know what? It's really not. It just sucks that like
You have to pay all this fucking money for 4 years, and shit, you might not get a job after college, especially me. I'm majoring in film. So it's really touch and go. My ADHD is off the walls. I don't even know what I'm saying. But I was saying, explore more and talk to people. Because if you don't explore, get out of your fucking comfort zone, dude. And immerse yourself. Keep on saying immerse. I don't know any other word. Then you will be ignorant for the rest of your life. And no one's going to want to talk to you because you'll be lame. Sorry, it's just the truth. Like, if you only have, like, heteronormative friends, then what the fuck are you doing? What are you scared of? Like, I don't understand that. And I know, like, a lot of people like that. I don't talk to them anymore, you know? Why the fuck would I? Why would I want to be friends with an ignorant person? So that's my advice. It's probably not good advice. Don't take any advice from me. I suck at giving advice. So if what I'm saying is coming off ignorant, even though I just did a whole spiel on how to not be ignorant, I would love feedback. Please critique me. You know? Yeah, that's all I have to say. I think to round, or to kick off the series of my life, I want to tell a story of when I got into film. And just like video shit in general. I've always been interested in it. Ever since I was young, I would make videos with my siblings. And I would edit them on iMovie and put in my own sound. And it was so fun. I would like shoot with my phone. And I would showcase them. Sometimes I would post to YouTube too. Some of them are out there. God, it's embarrassing. Fuck it. You know, I was in 6th grade. I'm allowed to. I can't be embarrassed by it. But I would do it. It was fun. But I really started to get into it whenever I was like in elementary school, maybe like 4th or 5th grade. I kind of stopped doing it for a while. Until, I don't know, maybe until I was like in high school. Because I joined like a video production like club. Well, it was class, but it was also a club too anyways. And I loved it. Actually, my teacher who taught video production wrote my recommendation letter, so thank you, Mr. Kaler. Hope you're doing well. But I just started to love it even more. So then I got to college and I met this professor, and unfortunately I'm not taking his class this semester. But I was having a conversation with him whenever I accidentally interrupted his class, but he allowed me to stay in there anyways because I'd like edit this thing. That took 8 fucking days, dude. But I was talking to him, and he does like gallery sort of films, experimental films. That's what they're called. He does that. And this guy has had a crazy fucking life. He told me he met Andy Warhol and Keith Haring back in like, I guess the 80s. And this guy looks young. Like, he looks like he's in his 50s. There's no way he's in his 50s. He has to be like in his 60s. But he looks good. You know, he's pretty cool looking. But I watched one of his films and something clicked. It was an experimental film that he made, I think, when he was in college. And I said to myself, that's what I want to do. I want to make these type of films. I want to be a cinematographer and edit these films, and I want to put one in a gallery someday. And it just clicked. You know, I was talking, he was so fucking cool. I want to take his class. But I was like, I have so much more to learn. But I feel like I already know how to do some of that shit. Like, I'm literally editing right now. I thought this was going to be like a documentary type thing, but I think I'm just going to turn this into like a sort of podcast where I just talk, and then maybe I'll turn it into a documentary. We'll see what happens. This could be like a long project that I do, and I think it will be. But right now I just want to talk. So as I was saying, I love film. I love it. It's what I want to do for the rest of my life. So now I'm thinking, okay, so I want to do experimental films, right? Is that it? Well, no, of course not. I want to be a filmographer. Or a fucking director of cinematography. I swear to God. Yeah, I want to do that. I think I could be really good at it. And I think I could maybe be a good editor, even though I'm kind of mediocre. I could never do, like, After Effects, that type of stuff. I could never, like, animate. But, yeah, that's what I want to do. On top of course, like, doing my own films, you know? I was also thinking if that doesn't work out, you know, shit. Maybe I'll open, like, a film store and sell coffee. And if that doesn't work out, I'll be, like, a freelance editor, freelance cinematographer, and travel across the United States in a van with a dog. Actually, that doesn't even have to be, like, a full-time thing, because I was already thinking of doing that after I graduate. Like, I'll buy a van, you know, a Volkswagen bus, because I'm cool, and travel, go to Canada maybe, we'll see. But I really would, it's like something I'm really passionate about right now. I have to get my shit together though. I don't even have a job. I have like $1 in my bank account. Yeah. This wasn't even a story. It was sort of just like me talking about what I like. Hopefully this isn't boring. I'm trying to like be funny, you know? I feel like I'm not the kind of funny person who, well, that's also not true because I feel like I'm like quick on my feet, you know? One of my friends said that I'm funny without even like trying to be funny. So maybe that's like my type of humor that I give off. Love that though. If people think I'm funny, that's the best compliment I could ever get. But I'm gonna end this because I think I talked about everything I wanted to talk about. I really want to turn this into like a documentary. That's what I sort of did at the beginning of this video. But I think it gets really interesting because then I just talk. I show pictures of myself from now and from whenever I was younger. I don't know. I think it's cool. I don't know how to explain it. It's cool. That's all I'm going to say. But I hope some people find this to be interesting because I really want to do more. I love talking and I love video editing and filming and going into my archives of my phone and finding shit that is kind of embarrassing and funny to talk about. If this turns out good, I might post it. And we'll see what happens from there. But seriously, I think it'd be really fucking cool to like turn this into a documentary. We'll see. That's all I have to say. Goodbye.